So there's a really interesting type of ferry, a reaction ferry in Grand Teton National Park that crosses the Snake River. This was operated by Bill Menor, and he recognized the single channel at this point offered an ideal crossing point. And this is a really simple design, but so effective. Really, it's brilliant in its simplicity. And so the idea is there's a steel cable that the ferry is attached to, and that by using the windlass and the pilot wheel, you adjust the rope that is connected to the steel cables through pulleys, and by changing the length of the rope on each side, the pontoons catch the current and take you back and forth across the river. So the landing is actually downstream from the steel cable. And so looking at a couple of the pictures at this actual ferry, this example of a reaction ferry, this is the steel cable, again, that connects, and just downstream you can see a person standing there looking at the other display. That's approximately where the landing is for the craft itself, where the pontoons and the landing would occur, and people would load and unload at that location. This is an example looking at the windlass and the pilot wheel, and of course the Tetons there in the background. And now looking at the front of this ferry, we can see the windlass and the pilot wheel up on the deck, and then the two pontoons that are going to catch the river, and that river, the current itself, it's going to push it from bank to bank. So looking at kind of an exaggerated overhead view here, so we've got the cable, we've got the ferry that's attached with the ropes there to the steel cable, and it's going to move back and forth across the river. So this would be stationary because the pontoons are kind of pointed directly parallel with the current, so there's not going to be any force from the river pushing the ferry and the pontoon from one direction to the other. As we start to rotate it, though, as we turn that windlass, the pilot wheel, and change the length of those sections of rope, we're going to adjust the angle of the pontoon. So now it's hitting the current. So at this angle, the current is going to push it towards the east bank. And we can also have the opposite scenario. So if we turn the pilot wheel the other direction, lengthen the rope on that side, angle the pontoons in that direction of the current, now we're going to move towards the west. So again, a really simple design, but I think it's brilliant in its simplicity. Very